Hello and welcome back to the Dramatic Dream Dragons podcast here on 5 I am as always your host Sondre Dylan. We are all about Dragon and DDT Pro Wrestling. I am joined by Dylan today. No Yannik this week. He is in Germany for WXW.
Yeah.
60 karat gold. I almost forgot what country he was. He is enjoying watching Masaki Mochizuki in front of Germans. But Dylan, you are here. I was thinking of having a guest, but then I remembered that, honestly, it's been a while since it's just been me and you on the recording.
You're right. And I miss these times, Sondre. I miss these intimate conversations about pro wrestling that we can have. We used to have a lot more, just me and you. But yeah, now we're back at it again. No third guest, and that's totally okay. We've got everything we need right here, Sondre. Although I'm sure that there are many lovely people out there that will join us in the future, and Yannik will be back as well. He's in WXW right now, along with my friend Striga. Also there. He's at every WXW show, so you kind of expected that, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah. Listen, the thing with Mochi is, he wasn't supposed to be there. Yep. He had to replace DK, and he's like, I didn't agree. I didn't sign up for this. Okay. They forced him to go to Germany against his will. And this is why he's not performing at the level that Yannik may like.
And the guy he's replacing will come back to Germany in September. Dragon Kid and Dragon Dia will both be traveling to Germany for WXW's Pro Wrestling Grand Prix weekend in September. I am considering going to Oberhausen for that.
Look at what his tale that will be if you end up going to Germany.
Yeah, me and Yannik finally meet up. Even though it will be like a week after he returns to Japan, so I don't think he's going to be able to afford.
That's a shame, Sondre. A true shame.
That's at least what he told me when I said I was considering it, and he legit said, "Please do not. I don't think I can afford it."
Well, I think that's a sign. That's a divine intervention at work. He's telling you do not go to Germany. Yeah, save your money, most importantly. That should be a strong lesson for literally everyone.
But
please don't spend money on pro wrestling.
I would so go to Germany just for Dragon Dia. Like, finally Dragon Dia goes overseas. Finally.
Yeah, he will be in America. I know that on the WrestleMania weekend.
I mean, it's smart move of him. But yeah, speaking of America, before we talk about current stuff.
Hey, I live there.
Yeah. Willie Mack, I think Willie Mack got announced for the Dragon Gate USA Rebirth show, which is cool because he's along with Matt Sydal, who also got announced. And Marcus Matters will be making his first appearance on that show also, which will be his second appearance with Dragon Gate. So that's cool. I already like. It will be interesting to see him wrestle in years.
Yeah, I mean, when was the last time you saw him? Lucha Underground?
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe I think I maybe saw like a TNA.
That's true. Yeah, he was there for a little while. Yeah, I mean, he's a guy that's been around. He's an indie veteran, to be honest with you. He's been around for decades at this point, and totally used to the style. So, should not be a problem at all. We'll see what kind of matches they have for this. As I understand it, there's been a lot of behind the scenes stuff going on there, trying to move pieces around to get matches right. So, like, they're trying to get this thing right. I'm hopeful that they can all have a good time, and I think the big concern we need to have, Sondre, who among the people coming are going to lose everything in Las Vegas gambling?
I firmly believe that Yamato cannot be trusted with money. I feel like he likes to live the party a bit. You know?
He's a veteran, though.
Yeah,
Like
true.
he's
He's
mature.
smart. Yeah.
Yeah. Like maybe 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I would have agreed with you. But I think he's really grown up.
I think if Hyo was still tag partners with SPK, I would not trust him with any money.
That is accurate, I would say. I just want to see Shun at like a slot machine, just sitting there for like 5 hours straight.
Please.
Yeah. And like those cheapest slots, like nothing big. Like I want like a quarter a game. Like he just spends 5 hours at this machine and like loses $200 ultimately.
I hope we get a Shun promo in the casino.
Yes, I absolutely agree with that.
You know the opening, the first like scene you get with Mashima in Yakuza 0.
Yes,
I want Shun to recreate that somehow.
Oh, that's if only that were possible. If only it was still the '80s in Japan. And America doesn't have any cabaret clubs, to my knowledge. I mean, I've never been to one anyway. Is all I can say. But maybe they exist in Las Vegas. But yes, I definitely agree. I wonder, actually, in all seriousness, and we're going on a total tangent now, but I'm really bummed out because you haven't started a Kiwami 2 yet. And I was looking forward to your opinions on it. Do you think? Oh no, yeah, I know. And I'm very disappointed by that. I wanted to know your thoughts on it. But do you think there's like legit any inspiration from Shun and like Goro Majima?
I think that might just be our headcanon kind of thing.
Well, they're very similar. At least I don't think it's headcanon. I think they are extremely similar. It may be for totally unrelated reasons.
Yeah.
He may have never played any of these games. I have no knowledge of Shun Skywalker's gaming abilities, to be honest. But if there is one thing I want you to do, Sondre, and Yannik, when you listen to this, I hope you know this. Your one mission, last time you came through with the interviews, and I love you for that, brother. You've got to ask Shun Skywalker what video games he likes. We need that information right. Well, not right now, but when we can talk to him, we need that burning question answered.
Yeah, I do. You know how he named his produce show SSW Quest 4?
I do.
I feel like that's it obviously is a continuation of the trilogy that he forced Kikura to do. But I also think this might be headcanon for me, but I think there is a Star Wars connection there. With his first produce show being named 4, or Star Wars Episode 4 being the first Star Wars movie.
I mean, listen, the man's name is Skywalker. I'm sure that is a very, like it's very logical to agree that there is some influence there. I would say.
I do feel like that's a cool little tie-in. But yeah, we have a lot of shows to talk about.
Who? Okay, so let's one more thing before we get to the shows. Who would be Shun's Darth Vader? Like, who is his dad in wrestling? If he, in the Shun Skywalker canon of wrestling, in his own mind, he is the Luke Skywalker. Who is Darth Vader to him?
So this is weird because for us, we would count the Darth Vader as a baby, as a heel.
Yeah. Yes.
Shun would be counting the Darth Vader as a babyface.
Yeah, the baby faces are the heels. In Shun Skywalker's world. Yes.
So Masaki Mochizuki, maybe. No, mhm.
We need a rival of his. And I mean, it doesn't work because he's not that old, but Yoshioka would be the Darth Vader to shoot Skywalker.
I think Casey would be the Darth
Well,
Vader.
he's old enough to be on there,
Yeah.
and I think many people have compared Casey to Darth Vader in the past as well.
Yes, of course.
The logical choice.
The logical choice, of course.
Okay, let's talk about current events. I would say now.
Yes. Yeah, we have a lot of shows to talk about. Because surprisingly enough, Dragon Gate was like, you know what? Your complaining has been good. You're gonna get to watch everything. Which we are happy of course, about. But it did take me, I did have to rush through latest upload to watch before we started recording. But Dragon Gate did announce that all of the Rey de Parejas will be watchable on the YouTube and Dragon Gate Network. So, like, some shows have now been added to the live schedule for the Dragon Gate Network, like Himeji and Gifu on the 20th and the 23rd, and Yokohama from the 5th, and Nagoya in tomorrow are two shows that are going to end up in taped format, very similar to like Star and World and stuff like that on the network. So value has been added to the network again. Other than that, all of the other matches in Rey de Parejas end up on the YouTube. So we are safe. Our complaining worked.
I think we have to. I think we have to thank the people that made this happen. You have to know that Jay probably fought for this.
Yes.
To many headaches, I'm sure, in his zone. So I do want to shout him out and thank him for all the good work that he and whoever else is behind this. Who knows who else is helping on with this? But I'm very thankful for it. Between the YouTube uploads, adding stuff to the network, it can only help. I mean, like I said, whether on this show, on the Eastern Lariat, I've said my piece on it because I think, if you're a fan, you want to root for something you're a fan of. You want to be a fan of the company that you're supporting. But I think there were a lot of flaws with what they were doing, to be honest. And I think they were just worthy of criticism. And I went pretty hard on them. Not just on here, a little harder than you guys did, to be honest, and especially on the Lariat. I went very hard on them, and I'm not the only one. A lot of people have talked about this. And we want this company to live up to its potential. This is something that we shouldn't have to fight for. Like, it's on them to make it right. Like, it should have been this way from the start. But I know that there were a lot of issues with it that weren't Jay's or anybody's fault. Like, I'm not trying to point the finger at anybody other than the company itself. So I'm glad that they finally worked things out to where we can watch this tournament, which we were all super hype about on paper. We talked about the blocks and everything like that, and there's a lot of interesting stories going on along in DG right now with Yoshioka coming back and everything going on. So I think it's so great that we are able to do that.
Yeah. Well, we will of course talk about the Rey de Parejas matches, but we also have Truth Gate in Osaka from Edion number 2 on March 1st to talk about first. The first show of March, on the day that normally would be Champion Gate, but they didn't want to do Champion Gate this year, it seems. This show, of course, was main evented by Yamato defending the Dreamgate title over Casey. It had an attendance of 745 people in Osaka number 2, and it was live on Dragon with no English commentary. We don't really need to talk about the undercard. It happened. we have a new YAMATO
Talk
champion.
about the YAMATO match. I know you want to talk about that.
I desperately do not.
Okay, don't watch it. That's all we need to say.
Kushinbo Kamen is a YAMATO champion after he became the 35th champion via fan decision after taking a pin to Takeshi Yoshida. But the first match that I really want to talk about, Truthgate show in Osaka, is Yuki Yoshioka's comeback match. Shun Skywalker, Kai, Jason Lee, Ishin of Seabrats versus Full D Courage, Ryo Tanaka, Dragon Daya, Madoka Kikura, and Yuki Yoshioka. This was the semi-main event. It went 30 minutes and 34 seconds, and it ended with a beautiful moonsault knee drop Shun to Yuki Yoshioka as a welcome back present. So Yoshioka doing the traditional taking the pin after coming back deal. This was a very, very good match, I thought. It was so cool to see the Full D Courage once again for the first time since 2023. And the last time we had all four members of the Courage, it's like Tanaka had just joined. Tanaka was like, he was 1 month into the Courage when Yoshioka got injured. What did you think of this first return match of Yoshioka?
I think that they wanted to kind of like ease him back. You know, like this match wasn't something where they really pushed him to do anything stand out. I mean, I thought his return, we talked about it on the show, it was great. Like, it was super hype. Like, we all loved it. And Shun, again, whether in this match or whether, like, in the angle, always an MVP. And I love the direct path from where we got on the return to this return match. Where, when Yoshioka came back, Shun reacted as if he saw a Shinigami or something out there.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and like by this match, he ends up, getting his moment back. Like, he, in his own crazy way, has recalibrated himself from like what happened with Yoshioka coming back. He didn't expect it. To now, he's fighting him on his own level and putting him down, which obviously shifts the narrative for Yoshioka to come back eventually and get his win back on him. So I thought it was smartly booked. As a match, I didn't think it was too special, but it was enjoyable. It was nice to see him back. For his part, what we did see of Yoshioka, it felt like he hadn't missed a beat, to be honest with you. It didn't feel like this was some guy who's not really rusty or anything like that. I think he looked just like the Yoshioka you would expect in this role.
Yeah. I like the entire match. He got beat up for 80% of the match. I will say, if it's funny because I feel like Yoshioka looked himself in the mirror every day during the and said, "How can I be even more like Yamato than Yamato?" Because not only like in look, like because his hair is such like peak 2010s era Yamato. Of just being a mess 5 minutes into the match. But his mannerisms in ring is so much selling and movement, which is very cool. I really like that. Which again makes us think of them doing that again. Yoshioka versus Yamato.
Yeah, that's the clear. I mean, as fans, I think that's the clear thing that we're all looking forward to. That doesn't mean they have to go that route, but I do think it's the most logical and the most likely, to be honest. And like I said, this match does not. It's not like Yoshioka's the man once again automatically. Like I said, they eased him back into it in a match, like you said, where he got to sell a lot, he wasn't really in control. I think that were very smart about that. We don't know how he'll hold up in a epic Dreamgate match yet, but I would say the odds are in his favor, like pretty strongly, and especially for us. And I think he's an interesting case where because he did. That was, I would say, overall his Dreamgate run was popular, but there were some detractors as well. And I think even among those detractors, it's a case of like not knowing what you had until it's gone for a while, because they saw how things were without him, and there's no way you could argue he's not a huge gain to have back for the company as a whole. So I think he's like even more primed and ready to be that top star now that he's been gone. The fans have had a chance to miss him, and if you're like us, that only made us want to see him even more. And even if you were somebody who kind of were critical of his title reign and hated on him, I think now you realize, like, you've got the chance to realize what it's like without him, and I think most people are very happy to see him back. So I think that he's really primed and ready to have a great run this rest of the year. But we're also very early in it, so I don't want to make definitive statements. But for me, I would say things are his arrow is pointing way up.
Yeah, and we of course have two other matches that are way more standout than this.
Yeah, exactly. We'll get to that.
But before that, we have to talk about the Open the Dreamgate title match of Yamato defending against Casey. 26 minutes and 29 seconds. Ragnarok gets the win for Yamato. His sixth successful defense of the Casey time. Sadly, not happening this year either, it seems. Every year, I hope, but I wouldn't even end this Yamato. Fine. And this match was outstanding. It was fantastic. Casey is one of the best losers in professional wrestling, and I hate that I love him so much because he's such a good, underdog wrestler. I loved how into this match the fans in the building became. It was such a good match when it came to crowd control from Yamato and Casey. And it's clear that this Yamato is just outstanding. What did you think of this?
I thought it was great and a totally worthy. To me, in all honesty, yes, the Casey time and all that stuff. But in my mind and in my heart and what I believed, there was no way Casey was winning this belt, ultimately. So you're, as a wrestler in that match scenario, they're kind of at a negative starting point. This match just isn't that interesting from a booking perspective. It's a filler title defense for a veteran. And that's cool, but it's not that emotionally gripping. But through their work and how they handled this match, I think Yamato is so damn great in this title reign at walking that line of, yes, he is the dude and the champion right now, and he is at the top of the company, the top of his game, and, in the kayfabe sense, the best wrestler in the company, and you could totally argue in the real world sense, the best wrestler right now. But definitely in the story, he is the top guy. He's having to walk that balance of maintaining that aura while also simultaneously giving it into his opponents. Give them enough to where they stand out, and he has to be actively vulnerable. He's not a Superman champion. Even in this match against an underdog challenger, there was plenty of times where KZ got a one-up on him. Just in their exchanges and things like that. And I thought they did a great story where they had KZ really. He had him beat at first, so Yamato decided to turn this into a fight, pretty much. When they went, I'd say, outside the ring, was great. There's a great spot in the match, and shout out to the camera work of DG here, where Yamato hits his roundabout boot in the corner on KZ, and he hits him so hard the spit flies, and like a thing of spit flies into the camera from the corner. And I thought, oh, that was a great moment. And it's like, okay, we're seeing Yamato, like, okay, we're done with this epic title match bull crap. I need to beat your ass. Like, really much. And I thought they did a great job of escalating it to where KZ was able to out-wrestle him. And so Yamato decided, okay, I'm taking this outside. I'm hitting hard. We're fighting now.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a great thing. And that's another thing where every match he's had, I made this point before, he's really been able to work to other people's styles and bring the best out of them, I would say.
Yeah.
And I think that, I think they're doing a great job. Like, not just himself, but I think with the booking of it, they've done a great job. Because as I said, this was, like, on paper, a filler match, but it actually adds something to his title reign by beating one of his contemporaries here. I think that he really is the best champion in wrestling at the moment. At least for now. If Goto has an 8-month reign, we may change our mind. But at least among men, I would say he is the best champion in Japan overall right now. He was a worthy MVP in the Eastern Lariat Awards. I didn't even vote for him, but it's hard to deny just how much he means to the company right now. And I think from a booking standpoint, again, that's helped a lot. We've had a great mix of challengers between people that were, some of these younger guys that he's elevated, veterans he's come against. They told different stories between them. They even had an outsider, even though we weren't a big fan of that. And I think this match could have been what the Keno match could have been, something with like not that much stakes personally on paper. But I don't think they hit the mark. I think with KZ and how they worked this match, the crowd was into it. They did a great job. I thought this was like the perfect version of this match.
I made an observation with this match, or like specifically with KZ, that I can't recall anyone on the Dragon Gate roster now or historically have this kind of record with the Dreamgate, where Casey, he has never won the title, but every time he has made the challenge, it's been a like match of the year, really 4.5, 25 star higher kind of match, right? I think Casey is in contention to be the best like Dreamgate challenger of all time, of like a guy that has never won the but every time he faces the champion just has a great match. Can you recall any other like challenger that would be like that?
That had multiple great defenses but never won the title?
Yeah.
No. Like, he's in a really unique role in the history of the company, I would say.
Yeah, because I was looking at it, like, his first, like, singles challenge for the Dreamgate, Mochizuki, in 2018. That is a fantastic match. Then his next match for the title was against Pac in 2019, which many, me in them, consider, like, one of the best Dreamgate matches of all. I in my opinion, is like one of my favorite Dragon Gate matches of all. He had versus Naruki Doi in 2020, versus Eita in 2020, and versus Shun Skywalker in 2021, which was his last challenge. And that, again, a fantastic match. He is a guy that I just feel always delivers in Dreamgate challenge.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with that. I think that it's really hard to argue. And there has been a lot of guys, too, that are at his very specific level, where they trust him enough to give him these title challenges, but never enough to actually give him the title. To be that underdog player. The only one, like, let's go through their history. Like, the only person I can think of that was like, okay, this guy is a, like, we think of him as a top guy and a contender, but we never put the title on him. The only one I can think of is T-Hawk.
Yeah.
There, like, because he was a main event player for a long time, and had some great matches for the title. To be fair, his Yoshino match was really strong, even though it was a weird deal. Like, in general, the match he had with Yamato was okay. I mean, Yamato, that was really more Yamato to me at the time. 2017 Yamato is not as good as 2025 Yamato. But not to the extent that KZ had. I would say like KZ's at another level than that, and I don't think there's anybody else really that's in that role of like we can give this guy title shots anytime. Because like Kid only challenged like one time for the Dream Gate. Like he didn't have multiple matches for the Dream Gate to even have that kind of run. And everyone else that you would think would have the title had the title at some point.
Yeah, I mean Susumu always delivers.
He's won the Dream Gate twice.
But he has won it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that it's just an observation I made with this match.
I think it's a fun thing to think about.
I think if Dragon Dia gets more Dreamgate challenges, I think he could always be a guy that fits that role in the future.
And that's a good role for him as like the forever underdog.
Yeah. Do you think Casey will ever win?
I mean, he could. Like, there's no reason to say no. He'll never get that title. Like, there's no reason to believe that. But, like, okay, let's put it this way. Whether he wins it or doesn't win it, his legacy is the same. Like, he is what he is, and everyone respects him for that. Like, him not winning the title doesn't take away from his career, in my opinion. True. It would be a nice cherry on top, but you still have a pretty you have a hell of a strong ass Sunday that he's made with his career. Yeah, I would say. Like, I think he's still, like I said, his career is what it is, and it's still worthy of great respect, even without the belt.
Yeah. And Yamato continuing with the title. I think I said it with this match, and like with I said it almost at the start of the reign also, but I want this title reign to be the end of Shimaism reign. Like I honestly want this to be the breaks Shima's record.
I was just thinking about that while we were talking, actually, because I think like a logical, again, like we were talking about Yoshioka earlier. I think the clear, logical narrative end for all of this is for Yoshioka to win the belt at Kobe World. But I feel like there's still juice in this Yamato reign if things keep going beyond that. Like, what are they going to do if he's at his current levels 5 months from now? I think you could easily argue, hey, let's run this back for another year. Oh my God. The way it's going.
He needs to do 3 more defenses, and then he will have beaten Shima in combined. And then he will then be the guy that has had the most successful 23 if he makes it with 3 more wins. But that's of course all reigns combined.
And
He's at 6 V's, 6 keys now, and for him to beat Shima's record, 15 keys, they will have to do a lot of. Honestly.
Well, the thing is, though, like what I'm saying is, if he doesn't cool down, and they don't. Like, okay, if he doesn't lose it at Kobe World, he should hold it the next year Like they should. This reign needs to end in the most spectacular way possible to solidify it as an all-time great reign.
Yeah, they have that big show in February that is taking the place of Final Gate, because next February they aren't doing Final Gate this year in Fukuoka.
Oh, okay.
So they are instead doing the Final Gate building in February. Of 2026. I feel like that's a event that they want to have a big moment happen at.
Yeah, that would work fine. Like, but I agree with you. I would like to see him, like, the way things are going. I think you could argue, like, it feels like a great title way to chase the record, like the single belt record. On the other hand, this show did 700 plus fans. Like, I know we're talking about. They haven't exactly been killing it at the box office lately.
Osaka number 2 700. Like, for Osaka number 2 700.
Yeah. And I mean, in general, though, I don't think this would be considered a hot period for the company.
No.
They might not want to, like, they might want to throw their hat in that deep with this reign unless things pick up a little bit, I would say.
The other issue with Yamato holding the title longer is that the Brave Gate is held hostage because of it.
They could easily they could just have him lose in a Brave Gate defense beforehand. Yeah, and that, if anything, that could have heat. That could actually add heat to a Dream Gate match if they were to do something like that.
Yeah, I would hope so. But the Brave Gate is just, it's not been mentioned since that show.
Well, that sucks. Yeah, I mean, we both agree that sucks.
Yeah, and I think we said that when they did that whole thing, that the best hope is that they actually follow up with. But the most realistic thing is that what happened.
Yeah. Well, I do think somebody needs to come out. Yeah, somebody needs to come out and be like, Yamato, what's up with the Brave Gate? Like, bring that thing back, get off your ass, and defend that thing against me. And I don't know who it is, but I would say this. But,
Yeah.
I think you have an easy story to tell, though, too, if you want to pop a house. Like, let's say Yoshioka, for this argument's sake, is the challenger at Kobe World. Yeah. Why couldn't you have a Daya versus Yamato Brave Gate match in the build-up to that? And that could even, that could be a great way to get the belt off of him and add intrigue to the title. So even if you do want to continue the Yamato Dream Gate reign, like, that adds so much extra thought that Yoshioka could win if Daya already won on there. Yeah. And you could that would build up to a third match in a trilogy with Daya later on, like, for the Dream Gate. So I think that okay, this is another hypothetical. But if he loses this Dream Gate before they do something with the Brave Gate, I think that's a big missed opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Anyway,
one other thing. On the other hand, wouldn't it be if you want to have a great dickhead move, like, the first thing after he loses the Dream Gate, he, like, brings back the Brave Gate. It's like, I'm still a champion after all this time.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is what he's going to do.
But that's a dick. That's something Shun should do. Not him. Like, he's too babyface right now to be, like, he's too much of a leader to do that. And I just think it's such a great dick move. Like, oh, I lost the belt, but I've still got this belt now. I really think they should do something with the Brave Gate soon, though. I think it's a dropped ball. Like, it's actually hurting the company as a whole because you're missing these Brave Gate matches on the show. But also, do you think that what we said about Yoshioka earlier, about him being gone, the absence made the heart grow fonder. When he took the Brave Gate out, it wasn't like we were having all these hot Brave Gate runs beforehand.
Daya was on a good run. Yeah,
it was okay. Like,
it had already been held hostage by Hyo for 2 years. It felt like.
But it felt like that. But even before that, it's been a long time since there's been a good Bravegate champion. And even people like there's been great talents that have held that belt.
Yeah.
But I would say since SBK's reign, it's been nothing close to that. Where that felt like a major title. Even with guys I like Daya, Jason Lee, they never were able to really get it to where it should be. Is it possible that they're purposely hiding this belt away so when it comes back, the fans are gonna love it again? Like it's like they're gonna really love it, not just like, oh, like this would be a cool second match on the show. You know, like no, like now it feels like a real title that means more.
Yeah. Junior. I'm just saying, Junior.
That would be cool if he had a belt, but
yeah.
It would be better though if the belt meant something. So if that works out, I will praise them for it. But also, I do think it's as we have it right now. I think it's time to get it back. You know.
Yeah, I agree. I haven't checked the results of today's show, but Yamato and BB Hulk faced Junior and Ben K today, so that could have been a setup match for something. Because looking at the Rey de Parejas, the only guy that could be like a Bravegate challenge would be Junior or Homare, or Hyo, I guess, but he already they
don't
already
want
did
that.
that match in Corrigan. Yeah, let's talk about the Rey de Parejas. The Rey de Parejas started the day after the KC versus Yamato match on the 2nd of March in the same building. A draw that was actually higher than of 708. This show was live on the Dragon Network with English comment, and it had 4 Rey de Parejas matches that we will. I think those are what we're going to talk about, because the undercard is not that important. Like it was funny that they had UT versus. We don't know what we're doing with these two match.
It's nice to see Kai, alive and wrestling, living his best life.
Yeah, for 4 minutes and 56 seconds, perfect.
He's alive. That's all I want.
But Rey de Parejas and the show started off with the B block with Strong Machine J and Casey of Natural Vibes versus Masaki Mochizuki and Akihiro Sahara of Mochizuki Dojo. 10 minutes and 28 seconds, countered Boston Crab, got the win for Casey over Sahara. This was good. This was a very good opener. Akihiro Sahara, this tournament will do wonders for him. He was already starting off really good this year, but this tournament and teaming with Masaki Mochizuki, who of course doesn't phone it in. The Rey de Parejas is way more Masaki Mochizuki than the German. Yeah, what did you think of this?
Well, I'll tell you right now that what we got here was definitely better than whatever you got in Germany.
I didn't get anything in Germany.
What you got? Yeah. You are there. You're here right now with me. Okay. I think that it's. Well, first of all, we have to say that overall, like Yannick's pick of KZ and Strong Machine's looking good, like the way things are going right now.
Yep.
I think that Sahara is just the man. Like everything about him rules. I love watching him wrestle in every sense of the word, every match he's in. I like that things are going on, and like Sahara I love how you have this generational rivalry like in your midst with Homare and him, and they're both so different. That's so good. Um, and Sahara is just like he's not this like he's not this innovative guy. It's not like he has a million moves in his arsenal or anything like that. He's just a cool ass wrestler that has his basics down so well that he makes them awesome. I mean, it's kind of a weird comparison, obviously, because they're a lot different in so many ways. But he actually kind of reminds me of Bolton Oleg in New Japan, where it's like he came into the scene and just everything was there. Like he's ready made to be a star. And he has something that you can't teach in his personality that is really cool. So I really love that.
Yeah.
I thought he had great chemistry with both KZ and Machine, and I thought him and Mochizuki make a really good team as well. So definitely good stuff here.
I think we're gonna do something different for that than what we usually do for these reviews, where we'll review each team for the tournament.
Yeah, sure. That sounds good.
Let's do it that way.
Okay, cool.
Akihiro and Mochizuki would go on. They lost this match, of course, but they would the day after, 2 days after in Korakuen, they would be facing again Ben K and Mochizuki Jr. Of Gold Class, where they again lost. So father lost to son, which is cool. Mochizuki Jr. won that match with seconds. I really liked Junior and Akihiro match. I would say this is the better of the two matches we have so far. Mochizuki.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think that's another maybe not generational rivalry, but like a very long-term thing that they have, where Junior and Saihara could be like, there's so many incredible matches in their future together if all goes right,
Yeah. Let's talk about Strong Machine J and Casey currently leading the B block. Of course, they did beat Mochizuki and Akihiro on the opening night. They on the 5th, they won against Mochizuki Jr. and Ben K in a very, very good match that went 14 minutes and 48 seconds. And they won with a machine suplex from Strong Machine J on Junior. And then they got this 2 points because Homare had fit their match on the 8th, so yesterday. So they are now sitting at B block. The next match is tomorrow against Hyo and Kuroshio. What did you think? What do you think of Casey and?
Again, I think that their prospects are looking very high for this tournament. I will give them that. I thought their first match they had was good. Like we kind of talked about that before, but I also think that the best is yet to come for them. I think like we're just getting into gear with them as a team, and I fully expect that things will like turn into a new gear for them. Even though I like this second match, I would say the second match was the better of the two, for sure. Like against Junior and K.
Yeah, and that's one of the tape shows. So before this tournament started, didn't know that we would get to see that.
I know what a great gift it was.
What a great gift. Let's talk about Mochizuki. Okay, sitting currently at 4 points. They did beat Akihiro and Mochizuki. They lost to Casey and Strong Machine J. They lost to Hyo and Kuroshio Tokujan in on the 8th, I think. And they did win against Yamato and BB Hulk. It seems like.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have the result. who won. But what do you think of their? We of course haven't seen the Yamato. We have to judge it off the Casey and Strong Machine J, Hyo Kuroshio, and the Korakuen match against Mochizuki and.
I got to be honest with you, Sondre. You broke up a lot there. Like I couldn't really hear you. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, okay.
Have I been breaking up a lot?
Not a lot, just a little bit. But just then it was a lot.
Okay. What do you think of Junior and Ben K's run so far?
Now, the thing that I love about them is that they're them. Like, they're so good in every sense of the word that every time I get to see them, it's like, man, like, I just am so happy to see you guys working together. You have great chemistry with each other. Obviously, on your own, you're very skilled. I think that for the role they've had to play in this tournament so far, it's Junior's been better at it than Ben K, if that makes sense. Because I think they've been positioned as a stronger team at the moment. But I think that Ben K's done a great job in his role as kind of the power of the team, so to speak. And I think that they really work well together. So very early on, but I've enjoyed their matches a lot. I thought Junior and Sahara had great chemistry with each other in their match. So everything about them has been good to me so far. And I will admit that I did not watch that Kuroshio and Hyo match.
You did not miss a lot. Trust me. Jiro won with roll up on Junior to finish that. They apparently Ben K pinned Hulk earlier today to get them up to 4 points in a match that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, that just happened today. Yeah,
it's not out.
Yeah.
Let's talk about
I saw it in my mind, though, Sondre. Okay, I saw it in my mind.
Let's talk about Hyo and Kuroshio Tokyo Japan, the team that is the acceptable skip in this tournament. Sitting at 4 points, they beat Shun Skywalker and Omare in their opening night in a horrible match where Jiro did a fucking thigh slap for a jacket getting thrown at him. Which is like, why? Why bother? They lost to Yamato and BB Hulk in court.
I was out by that, by the way. I didn't watch anymore after the first match. I gave them a fair chance. But I can't. I'm only human, okay?
So they lost to Yamato and BB Hulk, and then they beat Junior and Ben K. This is the acceptable team to skip in B block. No one will judge you if you skip Jiro. Don't worry.
Not me. I'm telling you, I did it. So I definitely won't judge you because I'm right in that same boat, my friend. All of the Jiro skippers out there, we've got to unite. We've got to stand together. We cannot let these people win and ruin this world.
And it's Speaking of a team that I wish we could see more of, but I think they might be forfeited because Ari has been dealing with a sickness. Sitting at 0 points, a loss to Jiro and Hyo, and a forfeit to SMJ and Casey. What do you think of this Homari? And we saw it only against Jiro and Hyo so far, and it's a shame that we can't see it against Casey and Strong Machine J.
Yeah, it really sucks, the timing, because I think you have so much interesting storyline potential. I mean, it sucks for anybody to get injured, don't get me wrong, but especially when you're in this exact situation that Homari's in, where I think that it could have been so beneficial for him and Shun and the unit and the company if they could do more with it at the end of the day as well. So I think that they're missing out on that, but I'm sure because of the strength of his Shun's character, whatever they had planned, they could rewrite in the future and make it work okay. But I would have liked to have seen more of them, and hopefully he can get better and get back before it's all said and done.
Yep. And then Yamato and BB Hulk. We have only seen 2 matches. Well, we haven't seen the other match. So again, you haven't seen any match of Yamato and BB Hulk. You skipped the Korakuen match.
Yeah.
Jiro and Hyo. But they're sitting at 2 points after Yamato and BB Hulk beat Jiro and Hyo in Korakuen. So their full point standings in B block right now, as of today, the 9th of March, is Casey and Strong Machine J leading the block at 6, Hyo and Jiro and Benken Jr. both at 4, Yamato and BB Hulk at 2, and Homare and Shun and Akihiro and Mochizuki at 0. That's B block. So far, I would say Strong Machine J and Casey are the clear MVPs, but of course that makes sense. It's them.
Yeah.
Then we go over to the A block. The first A block match we would get to see was Kota Minoura and Jason Lee versus Ishin and Yoshiki Kato in a time limit draw on the opening night. Let's talk about Kota Minoura and Jason Lee. This team, the Twin Gate champions, I feel really have had a strong start to the tournament so far. They are the leaders of the block at 6. They, of course, went to a time limit draw with Ishin and Kato. They went to a time limit draw with Rita and Jackie, which I watched just before we started recording. That was very, very good. And
that was good.
They beat Yoshioka and Daya in a very good match in Korakuen, and they beat let's see, is that Daiki? Yeah, Daiki and Fuda on the 9th, so earlier today. So they're sitting at 6 points. I think both the time limit draws they had really good. The one they had against Ishin and Kato surprised me a lot.
I thought that was a really interesting match to watch. How they worked it was very good, very interesting to me, very surprising.
I did not think I would enjoy it as much as I did. And it's kind of, it highlighted a split in Seabrats right now of Minoura and Jason kind of being like the theater kids of the unit, with Kato and Ishin being the school bullies of the unit. I really like that, there's a clear split in the personalities of Seabrat. You know? We have Kai and Gianni, who are the wild cards. We have Ishin and Kato, who are bullies. And we have Shun, Jason, Minoura, and Homare, who all are obvious theater and drama kids. You know? Really edgy. And it's interesting that it's Shun and Minoura who's feuding inside the unit right now. They're kind of the same. They fill the same role, I guess.
Yeah, and I think that these guys. I know Amy is trying to bully people on Twitter to like Minoura now. All of a sudden, I know I'm probably near the top of the list of Minoura haters in the past. I have been a huge Jason Lee supporter, though. Let's set the record straight on that. I think our criticisms of Minoura before were very fair, and I still wouldn't say, okay, he's had a couple of good matches, so now suddenly I like him. But you can't deny that this tournament is working for them as a team. I think they're doing very good together as a team, and I think that first match really set the stage well.
Yep.
Like you said with Kato and Ishin, for them to do that right out of the gate, no pun intended, was really smart. To have that friction, or not friction, but that separation between these two sides of the same coin as Zebrats. I thought they wrestled in a very interesting way, and I thought the other team actually did a fantastic job, to be honest. We'll talk about them later, but I thought that like Ishin and Kato are just they're a great, like true, like dickhead team. Like they're just great at that, and they made it work so well. And Jason and Kota did a great job of playing off of them. So I think they did a great job with that. The Courage match I thought was definitely strong. I thought that was the kind of the return of the Yoshioka from a work rate sense that we wanted to see, and we'll talk more about them later, obviously too. But I think that they've done a great job of being that kind of. They're kind of like that sounding pad to bounce off of. I think that's a great role for them as a team, and I think that's worked with the variety of teams they face so long. So Minoura and Jason are getting a thumbs up in this tournament for me. That does not mean I think Minoura is a great wrestler, though.
He's a good tag wrestler. That's what He's such a good blue guy.
I thought they struggled early on as a team, to be honest with you. Yeah, and I think they're getting it back, though.
They have really found it with this match, though, and this runs the tournament so far.
And we know that they're a great team before, like when they were baby faces. Like that was an excellent title reign. Like I think they got my vote for like tag team of the year at our awards many years ago. Like they're an excellent team. I think the Zebrats version of them had some bumps in the road early, and I think they're finding themselves fully like what they wanted to be. And I do have to give them both credit, but particularly Minoura, I think is very much improved in this tournament.
And we'll mention we'll talk about the story they're telling with Minoura right now after we have talked about the tournament, because that's interesting what they're doing.
Yeah. Totally agree, and I think they've played off of it very well. And I agree in general that the booking for them specifically, but really the whole tournament has been really strong.
Yeah. Ishin and Kato, who are the jackass bullies, just here to bully people, and it's really good. Sitting at 3 points, they lost to Daiki and Ryufuda in Corrigan.
My match of the tournament.
Hell yeah!
I love that match so much. Like I said, in the most bullshit right way possible. My French, but I loved it. It was the perfect ending to that match. To like, with the
it was so cool. It was so nice.
I loved it.
A count out win for Daiki and Fuda over Yoshiki Kato and Ishin. And that match was so fun also. Like, Ryufuda and Daiki are just so good baby faces. And they beat Rita and Jackie in, I think that was on the 6th. Or the 8th. But that meant that they are now...
the draw between Zebrats and Rita and Jackie. Yeah.
Yeah. But I do remember watching Rita and Jackie versus Ishin and Kato also, which I thought was also very. But yeah, 3 points for Ishin and Kato. Very fun team. Very polar opposite of the other Zebrats team. This Ishin and Kato is more of the traditional heels, I feel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
They're bullies. They use the box. They're not like Ishin, Jason and Kota, who are like laughing and trying to be edgy, and also like Bill doing a lot of really good wrestling. Ishin and Kato just want to cheat and be dicks, and it's very fun.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that match you're talking about was on the 5th.
Okay.
But it was taped to the 6th, so that's probably why you said that. We didn't watch it till the 6th, at least. The other match stood out more for me, surprisingly. I do have to say that they had against, in terms of Ishin and Kato, man, I just love them. Like they're just so fun. I don't know what
they're
more
the best kind of heels. They're the best kind of heel. I firmly believe that. Like the best kind of heel is the heel that is just they want to use weapons and they want to like just make fun of the fans, and that's always fun.
Well, that kind of heel has been done. The thing is, it's actually the worst kind of heel unless you do it good. In which case, it's the best kind. Like,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of really shitty versions of this kind of team in wrestling, and these guys are actually good at it. Like everyone who's doing what they do should watch them and be more like them. I also love it, just on principle, that Kato is like. He's another, like, he fits so well with Zebrats, and particularly Shun Skywalker's Zebrats, where he's this delusional guy, where he's like, I want to fight for justice, I'm a hero, I'm a cop, blah, blah, blah. And you're teaming with the most, like, no morals having heel, like, no honor, like Ishin. He's just a complete asshole.
Yeah.
And their team, and it works so well. And I love the finish to the Yaniguchi and Fuda match. And it was a bold booking move, but I loved it because this match was not about a big moment for Yaniguchi or Fuda. It was about them fucking up. Like,
Yeah.
and I love that. And it was like a perfect story note for them. And maybe Yaniguchi and Fuda will get a moment at some point. But this was all about them screwing up, and I loved how they played that. I thought it was like perfect. The action was great. The action against Rita and Jackie was really good too. Don't get me wrong, but I thought the other one had more to it because it's like,
Yeah.
this is what you were built for. Bully these guys who are clearly weaker than you, and like make them eat shit until you drop the ball and they benefit from your demise. It was perfect. So I love this team.
Technically, first win for Daiki Yanaguchi. Which brings us into Daiki Yanaguchi and Ryu Fuda. 2 points. Shockingly, 2 points. I did not think that Daiki Yanaguchi and Ryu Fuda would be at 2 points after week 1 of the tournament, and D-Courage would be at 0. But they did beat Ishin and Kato in their first match of the tournament. They lost to Susumu and Kagetora original Jimmys on the 8th yesterday, and earlier today they also lost to Kota Minoura and Jason Lee, the Twin Gate champions. We both really liked the Corkin match, and I watched the original Jimmy's match earlier, and I thought that was really fun.
Yeah, me too. I literally just watched that before we started recording.
Yeah, I thought that was really fun. I thought Daiki and Kagetora did some really good grappling that I didn't expect. They are just a fun rookie team to watch. I'm really happy that they are in the tournament.
Yeah, it's kind of a shame they're stuck in this role, like even all these years later. For Fuda and Yaniguchi's been in this for a while.
He's 2 years.
But also, it's kind of hard on this roster. Like, there's not a lot of spots for them to move up. Like, their roster's so strong. It's like, if these guys went to DDT, I think they would have a lot more upward mobility. Like, because we talked about DDT on the last show, where there's a lot of spots open at the top of the card.
You
now.
say that, but it did take like 4 years before Korku got like a push.
Yeah, that is true as well. But I mean, that's the way of wrestling in Japan most times.
Yeah.
Not everybody can. Like, Homari is a special case because he has this, like, they've calculated this ready-made story with Shun that, like, forces him to be in these major roles. Not that he doesn't deserve it, because he's awesome. But these guys have just been stuck forever, and I like their wrestling. Like, that match I thought that Zebrats match was perfect for Ishin and Kato, but also them as underdog, like, lovable loser types. And I think that's where they'll continue going forward, but their skill set is good. Like, they could be a great top of the line team if they were, and like, let's say Dragon Gate woke up tomorrow and was like, man, why are these guys in the undercard? Let's push them. I think they'd succeed in it. Like, they're good. Like, it's just there are a lot of guys on this roster, and they're gonna have to fight through it. But I like their run in this tournament so far. I think they're a really good, cool young team to watch, and I'm just happy to see, especially Fuda, because of all of his struggles with injuries. I'm just happy to see them together and doing good things.
Yeah. Susumu and Kagatora, this was their first match they had yesterday of the tournament. Before we knew that we would actually get to see the tournament. Kagatora and Susumu would not have been able to be watched. Because all of their matches are happening on the smaller shows. Unless they make the final. Which is so funny. So yeah, 2 points today, yesterday for them. Very good team, of course, proven historic team. So I'm really looking forward to seeing Denver D-Courage tomorrow. That should be fun.
Yeah, that should be a really good match. I do have a breaking tidbit. I'm gonna take it back to Mochi for one brief second. I was sent a message from Mochi in WXW where Mochizuki was there, and Igo Blanc said that Mochizuki's too old to do any dives in his matches. And that popped this person. I thought it was a fun comedy spot. So Mochizuki did do something by not doing anything at all, because he's too old, according to Igo Blanc. Do you agree with this? Do you want to see Flying Mochi?
That's funny, because we have seen Flying Mochi. He does it a lot, honestly.
So the Igo Blanc's, he's not a Dragon Gate viewer. Clearly,
he did not watch a lot of Dragon Gate last.
Yeah, wake up, White Eagle. We need you to know the lore of Mochizuki right now. He's not too old.
Maybe Madoka Kikuta can show him some Mochizuki matches in the backstage during the Champion Carnival.
Yes. Yeah, very fun. I just wanted to share that with you because I thought it was funny.
Yeah, that is very funny. Let's talk about Jackie, Kame, and Rita. Already a proven team before they went into the tournament. They have just been having bangers and bangers. 3 points right now. A time limit draw against against Kota and Jason, and of course the loss to Ishin and Kato, and they did beat did beat D-Courage in the opening night in a really good match. That I would say I prefer. Really? JFK Jackie pinned Yoshioka with the JFK, and after 14 minutes in that opening match. That was the main event of the opening show. I really just liked it. This was the clear, like, oh, Yoshioka is now fully back kind of match for me.
I agree with that.
And Jackie and Rita are just so fun to watch wrestle. And like, it was fun because like everyone was moving so fast, and Yoshioka was like trying to keep up, and it was very interesting to see because like he's in the ring with 3 of the fastest wrestlers in Dragon Gate.
Yeah.
Like he's in the ring with Dragon Gate division.
But I thought it was super cool. Like I thought.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, exactly. I was totally into that. I love the finish. I love the way they're slow burning like Yoshioka right now.
Yeah.
And even though like realistically they could still have easily advanced at this point, like they're 3 points out of second place, if they were to get hot. But I also like the idea of just have Yoshioka eat some L's for a little while.
Yeah.
To make his eventual come up to the title that much more meaningful. Make it seem like he's missing something. Even though in his match quality, I really felt like he really didn't miss a beat against 3, and like you said, in terms of pace, 3 of the absolute top tier wrestlers in the entire world. Yeah. I would say that he held his own, like more than held his own, and I think that Rita and Jackie, anything you said about them was so true. They're such a perfect pairing as a team. I'm so glad they had Jackie join this unit so they could put them together. I think they're
has shorts now, matching with Rita.
it's an
I
upgrade.
love it. It's an
Yeah.
upgrade. On the Truthgate show, the day before the opening night, he came out in gold class branded overalls, and I got worried. I got really worried. But then the day after, he had the shorts, and I was like, "Yep, this is what you should do."
As a wrestler who, for 100% of his matches, wrestled in shorts, I will say that I highly approve over the overalls.
Yeah,
Great team though. I think they're fantastic. I've sang Rita's praises for months and months now, and it's just I'm so happy to see Jackie in this spot because for a while, Sondre, I'm going to be honest with you, I felt like he was driving me to therapy. Watching him in Big Hug, watching him lose his spark, lose what made him so great.
Yep.
It made me feel like I was losing a part of my own life. And I think now that he's back, I feel like things are just a little bit more right in the world. And I think they're a great, great team. And Rita, again, I credit a lot with that. But also, it's great to see Jackie being the guy we know that he always is.
Yeah. But yeah, their opponents on the first night sitting at 0 points, only 2 matches in though. Yoshioka and Dragon Daya, the original D-Courage, lost to Rita and Jackie, lost to Kota and Jason. Their next match is tomorrow against Kage and Susumu. It's awesome to see Yoshioka back. It's just awesome. He really, in these 2 first matches of the Rey de Parejas that we have seen with him, he has really not missed it at all. And 2 very different matches. The first one being a very work rate match and really fast paced, and the second one being them being beaten up by Seabrat. We didn't mention it, but Shun Skywalker brought in the Dia Inferno mask on the opening, on the first return match of Yoshioka on the first.
That was awesome. The reveal for the record, but then what happened next?
I think that Dia Inferno mask has kind of thrown him off because he seems like he's a bit distracted, even though he tells everyone that he's ignoring it and it's Shun being Shun. It feels like that is what maybe is causing him to lose. He has taken the pin both times in both his matches.
Interesting theory.
But I love your original D-Courage. Seeing them back is great.
So, yeah, okay, so we kind of went on a segue here because, first of all, long story short, yes, dude, seeing them back is awesome, and I thought he's done a good job, and Dia is ever reliable. Who do you think is under this damn mask? This Dia Inferno mask?
Yeah, so, because Yoshioka came out, on this return match, he came out really happy, and Shun came out with the Dia Inferno mask, saying that he wanted Yoshioka back in the Dia Inferno mask. That's the true Yoshioka. Then in Korakuen, during Madoka Kikura's singles match against Punch Tominaga, Kikura got distracted by a man who walked out with the Dia Inferno. And he lost to Punch Tominaga. Which is, of course, is not a good look for Kikura going into the Champion Carnival.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Really building him up for that Carnival run.
Yeah, and Kikura did ask Yoshioka at the end of Korakuen, because after Kota and Jason Lee had beaten Dia and Yuki, it was kind of interesting because Kota said, Yuki, you aren't ready to come back. Dia should have stuck with Kikura as his partner. And he says Kota also said that Shun is a dumbass for trying to recruit Yuki as Dia Inferno. which of course brought out Shun Skywalker, and Shun Skywalker and Kota bickered a lot.
Yes.
So that's one part of the story. The other part is, of course, Kikuta, who came out and asked who the Dia Inferno that interfered was, and Shun only said, "Ask Yuki," and then he left. So Shun is trying to gaslight people into thinking that Yuki Oshoka is under the Dia Inferno again, which of course is very Shun. I think it's just Shun under the mask. It kind of is his body size, at least.
I know. Yeah, I was about to say that too. He's a little, like, not taller, but bigger than a lot of DG wrestlers.
Boss. It's Big Boss.
He's not that big.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, did Big Boss lose a lot of weight in the last 3 months that we don't know about? Maybe that's what this really was all about, Sondre. What if it came out that whole deal was a kayfabe bullshit, and they just sent him away to, like, do an extreme weight loss diet so he could come back as a shocking return?
That would be interesting.
I don't know how I would feel about a skinny Big Boss, though.
Yeah, that would be weird.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, but no, it's very likely not him. To be fair, though, in all honesty, yes, like, we're going to try and read into body types and all this crap with this Dragon Dia Inferno. But to be fair, whoever's under this mask now may not be who's under the mask when it's revealed. You know, like who it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I did think that also. It honestly doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the body type doesn't matter now. It'll probably be somebody different when the time comes.
Yeah.
What if it's like, remember the time they did it, and it was just a guy? After that, they pulled the mask off of the Mask Z, and it was just a guy.
Yeah, there was just a rookie that was forced to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. What if it's that again? The most deadpan reveal of all time, pretty much. I think they're teasing that it could be Dia.
Well, the body type does not fit Dia.
No, it doesn't. But they're trying to make. You're right. See, that's the thing. That's why we have to kind of throw out whoever's under there now, because yeah, if you grade who it is now, there's no way that man was Dragon Dia under that mask.
Yeah. I honestly think it could also be a way to get Kikuta to turn heel.
That's what it may include an unimportant nobody. That's just a device to turn Kikuta. Yeah.
Yeah, I am hoping for Kikuta to turn. If anyone in D-Courage turns, it should be Kikuta.
And they can't do that angle with him under the mask because it would be obvious it's Kikuta.
Yeah.
Like, if he ran out with the mask, they're like, who the hell's Dia Inferno now? Like, no, it's obviously Kikuta. Look at him.
Yeah. And he couldn't distract himself to lose the match.
Well, that's another thing. You know? Well, yeah, I mean, I thought it would be a great angle if they wanted to turn Dia or even Ryoya if they wanted to do something like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think you're ultimately right. Like, this is a device to turn Kikuta is really what it's more about.
Yeah.
But I do think they should reveal who this is by the end of this tour, pretty much. Like, whoever's under this mask, Yoshioka should rip that thing off of him and be like, haha. Like, whoever.
Scooby-Doo, like, yeah.
Yes, you meddling kids. I would have gotten away with it. But I think it's cool. Yeah. I think it's a cool angle, though. I like these. I mean, it's kind of the same as the Mask Z thing. It's like kind of a total retread of that, actually. What they should have done instead of this.
Yeah.
Bring back Dr. Muscle. That's what I would have done.
Yeah, that's
which the original version of this exact same angle. Pretty much.
That would be funny. During the two matches, Yoshioka hit Dia by mistake in both. I mean, that's a way. That's something you can take off those matches as a Yoshioka thing. I don't like that.
And I
I
don't
don't.
like the idea of Dia turning heel either.
Yeah, I don't like the idea of either Yoshioka or Daya turning heel because it doesn't feel natural either of them to turn heel at this point. Because they're just so happy that they're. Excuse me for saying this, but they're just happy that they can be boyfriends in D-Courage again. They are just happy that they can be original D-Courage again. So why would they turn on each other? It's more that Kikuta makes more sense of being jealous of Yoshioka and then turning.
And I think to Tanaka, if he were under the mask, again, this person did not have his body type really, but I think that would make a lot of sense too.
Yeah.
If they wanted to get there more than Dia, but I think I thought that's how I took Shun, is like he's trying to manipulate D-Courage against each other, pretty much, and try to have them all pointing fingers by the end. And maybe that's how it'll play out. I mean, I think there's a good amount of storyline possibilities, and I like that.
Yeah. Then we also have the Kota and Shun infighting. Kota on the 5th. Kota, of course, in Korakuen, Kota was kind of shitting on Shun. And on the 5th, he hit Shun by mistake with the baking tray in. And that caused Shun to lose a 6-man tag against Urge, taking a pin to Dragon Dia in a fun 6-man tag. What do you think of this Kota and Shun thing? They're finally doing something here.
Yeah, exactly. It's like this is what we've been talking about for months and months and months, and now finally they're doing something. So I'm happy to see it. It's going to be interesting how they peak this. Like, and I mean, we don't even know what their plans are. Like, could Zebrat split in two? Will it just be one or the other? Could this be some kind of dead or alive match in the future with Zebrats involved and somebody's got to go type of deal?
Do you think they do a Zebrats steel cage match?
I mean, what are the other options if they're going to do a cage match?
Yeah, that would be interesting. I think they're definitely doing a cage match. It's their last time in that building.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I guess
it's been a while since we have had like a unit cage match. The last one I think is the Berserk one.
That to me is the true dead or alive. Like the ones they've been doing the last few years is not the same as what I think of. What would I think of it?
I mean, the Berserk dead or alive match is like one of the best cage matches of all time. So
they're all great. Like all of the dead or alive matches are great in their own way. Yeah. And you can easily heat up any unit to face. I mean, if they wanted, they could do a D-Courage versus Zebrats cage match, and that could set up multiple turns if they wanted to do that.
Yeah.
Now Kikuta and a double turn between Kikuta and Shun in the match, or Minoru gets kicked out, or who sides with who. I think there's a lot of intrigue with that, or maybe they just dodge that. And just have two separate two separate Zebrats teams fight it out in there, and kind of draw the lines that way if they so chose. But I think that's where they should go with this. Like this angle should peak, or maybe not peak, but
Shun has been during this Zebrats run. Shun has been very tied to the cage.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, exactly. Like, have this happen. Do whatever you're gonna do with Shun and Minoru, and maybe that will set up the Kobe World match potentially between those two men itself.
Yeah,
like Minoru and Shun at World. I could get behind that.
Yeah. We of course also have other stuff going on in Zebrats. Just as random as last time. Gianni Valletta returning Korakuen.
That did happen.
It was just as random as the last time, where suddenly a match was going on, of course involving Zebrats, and the siren starts, and he comes out, and just chaos ensues. He interfered during the 6-man tag Shun, Kai, and Omare versus Susumu, Kagetora, and Naruki Doi. He said that his goal is to destroy Paradox. Now, he has already also challenged Shuji Ishikawa for a match on the SSW Quest 4 show in Shinjuku Face. What do you think of Gianni Valletta versus Shuji Ishikawa?
Well, Gianni's big.
Yeah,
that's about it.
Gianni's big, Shuji's the big dog, so you
exactly. Like, they're gonna have to find out who the real big dog is in Japanese wrestling. Maybe like Gianni could be his protege, the Shuji's protege in Evolution. Yeah.
Maybe this is all just a game to get Gianni Valletta versus Shuji, the one match we all want.
Now I was gonna say, like, what do you think their relationship could be in Evolution? Would they be in the same faction? Would they be enemies? What can they do? Like, what kind of unit could these two form together or against each other? Shuji has to figure that out. And I think that's what this match is going to really prove. Yeah. But yeah, he's back in DG. He's fun. Like, he's not someone that.
The thing is, this is the role he should be doing.
Exactly.
I was worried when he said, like, I'm back and I'm coming for Paradox. I was so worried that he was Yamato. Because him and Yamato, I mean, it could work. But
we don't need him getting Dream Gate shots. Like, we saw that with Mate and it sucked.
Yeah.
So, I just think, whose side will he be on in the Z-Brats intersplit cage match at Dead or Alive? Shun's or Kota's?
Yep.
Another question to be answered.
Yeah.
But he's fun. Yeah. You don't have to put a lot of thought into him or his role. He's him, and it's fun. So I'm totally fine with him coming back.
Yeah. Other news coming out of Korakuen is that BB Oak announced after him and Yamato beat Hyo and Jiro that he wants to have a special 6-man tag anniversary match on the April 7th Korakuen Hall show. And he already has decided on one of his, and it's going to be his classmate Katsuo. Of course, Katsuo is a wrestler that is mainly wrestling in Hokkaido, in the Hokkaido area. So he will be making the trek down to Korakuen for the BB Hulk anniversary match. That's cool. Who else do you want to see in the BB Hulk anniversary match?
No question. Like, the number one choice is his forever rival Shingo Takagi.
Yep.
Other than that, I think you could do a lot here. If you really look at Hulk's run, he's had a multitude of tag partners. That they could, they could ride with.
Like,
him and Yamato should be there.
Him and Yamato, who are in the tournament, of course, they also are former Twin Gate champions.
Yeah, they had a tag team run back in the day. Yeah, I think that was like around 2018. That was Tribe Vanguard era.
Yeah, I just realized they can do Tribe Vanguard. They can do Casey and Yamato.
They could do that as well. Yeah. Or other more successful factions there as well.
Yeah, true.
If they wanted,
I was in a wrestling store in Japan, and I legit was considering buying a Tribe Vanguard shirt. It was on sale there.
I like the idea of Tribe Vanguard. I don't like how it turned out in execution that much, but all their guys were good. It just wasn't the right time or place or anything about them. Nope. That's another one. If you want to go back into his past history, Tozawa, if they could get him, bring him from WWE.
Imagine. What is Tosawa doing? I think he have a
He's
match with
actually,
Walter?
yeah, he's actually the main event storyline at the moment. Well, as a side character, but still. Yes, it was a very strong match, by the way. Him and Walter on Raw. Him and Otis.
How? What? 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Was that good?
It was good. I mean, it was a sprint match, but still, that doesn't mean it was bad.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I guess my expectations were so low as well. It's Tozawa in WWE. Of course, it was 3 minutes. But no, I think they have a lot of options. Like he's teamed with almost everybody in the DG system. It's really just going to be his call. But him and KZ, I really expect KZ to be involved in it, and I think that Shingo is what I want. And they've done stuff with them before. They teamed not that long ago on a Dragon Gate show.
Yeah.
Kobe World one year, I think, actually. So yeah, bring him back, bring those guys in, bring in Katsuyo.
Yeah,
I'm
are
ready.
you a big Katsuo fan?
No.
I mean, we barely see him because he only wrestles in Hokkaido.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's not. I don't have anything negative to say about him. That I just don't. I just wouldn't say I'm a fan. I don't think that's very fair.
Yeah.
Overall, like, what makes you think that I should be a fan of his?
Nothing, don't worry.
Well, I just feel like you're judging me and everyone listening for not being Katsuyo super fans right now.
I mean, he hasn't been the Dragon Gate regular since 2008, so I do. Don't worry.
That was even before my time watching. So,
but yeah, I think that's it. The standings in A block is let's see. Jason and Kota are leading the block at 6. Ishin and Kato and Jackie and Rita are both at 3. And Daiki and Ryufura and Kagetora and Susumu are at 2, and Decourage at 0. And other than that, I don't think we have any other news from Korakuen. It was honestly kind of a down Korakuen. Other than the Rey de Parejas matches, I wasn't really that into this show.
yeah, but I mean, isn't that normal? I mean, everything is focused on the tournament right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
But
and that's why even a lot of the angles they're building up are like playing out in the tournament as well. So
yeah, I did like the Royal Sambo. That was fun. Which is weird to see in Korakuen. It was very, but I thought Monte looked really good in it. Who of course won the Royal Sambo Tokyo edition. Speaking of a guy that isn't doing anything, Luis Monte.
no, yeah, he's like the total forgotten man right now. How do you think he feels about all this?
He looks like he's having fun. On his Twitter, at least.
Good for him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he has fun. I just feel bad for him because he is so forgotten.
Yeah, it's not even people are like clamoring for him to do more, join a unit. They're just like, oh yeah, Monte.
It's like he gets bookings and stuff, but it almost feels like he's being punished for his his failed unit and his failed reign.
Don't put it. What about why can't Hyo be punished? Then why does he have to eat it all?
None of which was Monte's fault. Monte is completely faultless for.
Well, I mean, he wasn't that good, like, but still, like, punish Hyo. Don't take it all out of Monte. Don't let Hyo go free and do this to us and team with Jiro.
Monte should have teamed with Jiro.
Well, maybe when you say it that way, maybe Monte's better off not doing anything.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why he's happy. He's like, man, I could be teaming with Jiro right now.
But
living his best life.
Also, some new breaking news from earlier today.
Okay.
Takeshi Yoshida joined the Hokuto army in in Old Japan. What do you think of
Why?
that?
I mean, he fits that group. I will say that.
He very much fits Hokuto army. Be- because it's legit a unit of geeks.
Well, it's like Omori as a comedy goof, and then a bunch of big guys around him.
Yep.
And he's big.
Yep. Cool. I think that's it. I don't think we have anything else to talk about. DDT, kind of on a lull period. They did have a Yokohama Radiant Hall show yesterday that I haven't gotten to see yet. But it looks like, from what I've seen, Kanon is still wrestling as normal Kanon. Even though the Hideki Okatani is pretty much involved in every match, it seems that Kanon is still wrestling the same.
This is a great. Okay, so here's the thing. Like, ride with me on this, Sondre. His gimmick is that he got kicked out but refuses to accept it. So he just comes up every show and pretends he's still in the group every week. And then they just keep attacking him, and he's like, "No, I wasn't kicked out. What are you talking about? I'm a Damnation TA." And then they're just all like, "No, we kicked you out. Like, leave us alone." And Kanon's just like, "I'm in Damnation," the whole time. It's like George in Seinfeld, where he got fired but just kept showing up to work. Like, well, maybe they won't notice. That's what I want with Kanon. I want, like, whenever they do a promo, I want him like standing in the background where no one can see him, like he's still in the group.
Hell yeah. I did listen to the first half of the Eastern Lariat Hall of Fame episode.
Yeah.
Wonderful 2 picks for the Eastern Lariat Hall of Fame. Fujita Junior Hayato was such a well-deserved.
Yeah, I was the one that gave the speech for him, the induction speech. Did I do good?
Yeah, very good.
Thank you. Oh yeah, it was great.
I really liked all the history you both talked about for both. Masaki Mochizuki, like, Striga had his whole career like in his speech.
Yeah, Mochizuki was a fantastic choice too, and that's the one I kind of teased last week on the show, that we did have a DG representative in the Hall of Fame this year, and yeah, Mochi totally deserved it. I thought it was a great choice there. You know, we all have a lot of great memories if you've been watching DG for a long time. With someone like a Mochizuki, he was really one of the first guys that really grabbed me personally. And Striga obviously has a ton of history. I don't know if it's that well known among everybody listening right now, but Striga, my co-host on the Lariat, he was like one of the dudes, like, online for Dragon Gate. Like, before I even started watching Japanese wrestling, he covered all the spin-offs. He told me, like, that's one of the first things we talked about when I came on for my very first episode, because back then I was really more known as like a battle arts guy, like shoot style fan. And he was a Dragon Gate fan. He told me his favorite company was El Dorado, which is like a spin-off of Dragon Gate. And I was like, whoa, for real? And I actually liked all that stuff too when I was like starting out. Like, Ditch's old website had a ton of matches of theirs, Dragon Door as well, and all the other spin-offs. Mochizuki did some great things though all throughout, and yeah, I hope everybody enjoyed that episode. The second half is a current events episode, and we'll be back soon once he gets back from WXW and stuff. He had to travel there, but we got a lot to talk about there. But yeah, the Hall of Fame episode, I'm really thankful that you listened to it, Sondre, and I hope you liked it. Definitely agree. I think we did, not to pat myself on the back too much, but I thought, just like I said on the show, I don't think there will be too many arguments for Fujita or Mochi. So very good stuff. I definitely recommend, even if you don't not a normal listener of the Lariat, tune into the Eastern Lariat for the Hall of Fame episode. At least listen to the first half. Striga does some great work, as Sondre said, covering Mochi's whole career.
Yeah. And before we go off, I want to also plug the actress stage I did. On Thursday. Me and Valgate talked a lot about how Actress Girls is doing right now, and the very good turnaround they have had. Honestly, worth a listen. Just because you get to hear us ramble about random other companies as well as Actress. But that was fun. Did you know, Dylan? Actress did 3 shows in February, and all 3 shows had a title match. That is something very unique. But yeah,
I'm gonna have to listen to see how they turned out, though, if you like them or not.
some good, some bad.
Okay.
But we will be back probably when we have a lot of Rey de Parejas stuff, and we also have Judgment in 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah.
But, yeah. What did you
You
want to
think
say?
Yannik will be back for that for Judgment?
Oh, he will definitely be back for Judgment.
Okay, good.
And we'll see you then. Until then, we'll see you next time. Ready? Wake up and go.